my name is Emily, and today we're going to be talking about our local watersheds and water moving through a watershed. But we're not just looking at any watersheds, we are looking at local ones. Some of you might know where I am right now. I'm at Monarch Grove Elementary School. So we are here at Monarch Grove Elementary, and we are standing at a model of the Moro Bay Watershed. So this is found right here, and you might recognize some local peaks and mountain ranges that make up this very watershed. Right here on the north side, you have the Santa Lucia mountain range, and then down here at the south, you have the Irish Hills, and in between, we have our Seven Sisters. You might recognize Hollister Peak or Bishop's Peak. Unfortunately, Moro Rock is no longer there, but it's there in spirit. And you might also notice where Los Osos is right where we are right now. But this is an example of our local watershed right here. So what about the water moving through the watershed? Do you guys remember from some of your lessons how the water moves and what direction it goes? You might remember that it moves downwards. So you might have done that in your reading, or you might have learned about it from some other activities with One Cool Earth when you did that water in your hand model. So this is very similar to that. Let's think of the Moro Bay Watershed as a giant bowl or a basin. So no matter where along the edges or the peaks, if you were to drop water or if it were to rain, all the water drains to the same spot, just like a bowl. I have here a nice watering can, and we're going to make it rain in the Moro Bay Watershed. So let's step back and watch and observe what happens. So you might notice in some sections, right up here where it's really steep, water is moving really fast. But then as it gets lower, it kind of starts to slow down. All these smaller streams and creeks, these are tributaries, and these lead down to larger creeks or rivers and eventually lead down into the estuary and eventually to the ocean. We have two major creeks in the Moro Bay Watershed, and that is the Los Osos Creek and the Choro Creek. We're gonna look a little bit closer now. So I have a water dropper or a pipette like you guys do at home, or you should have from other activities that you might have done. But we're just gonna see what happens to the water drop on different slopes up close. So here we have a really small slope. Water didn't really go anywhere, did it? What do you observe? All right, we're gonna try a little bit of a steeper slope. Let's go right over on this hillside here and see what happens. You notice the water moves a little bit more. It travels further and moves a little bit faster. And then what about on this really steep mountainside? It's traveling a lot farther and it moves a lot faster too. What did you observe? You guys can try this at home with your pipettes or water droppers. Find different slopes around your neighborhood or in your backyard. Just make sure that you have approval from a parent to be able to put water on it. But remember to have fun. Thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something.